Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to International Islamic University Islamabad School's Sahiwal campus online lectures. Dear students, this is the lecture of English grade 5. Dear students, I hope you all will be fine and safe from pandemic. Due to the closure of schools in this pandemic, IIUI schools are delivering online lectures with proper classwork and homework assignments to avoid any kind of loss of your studies. Now it is your duty to listen to the lectures carefully and follow all the instructions to make the effort fruitful. Thank you. Now let's move towards our first lecture from the second agenda of term 2020. The second agenda starts from unit number 13. So our first lecture will be from unit number 13, and the name of this unit is poem, and the title of this poem is The Fringe of the Sea. Okay, dear students, in this lecture, as this is the first lecture from this unit, so we will cover the reading and explanation of the content of this lesson, which is a poem. I will give you the meanings of difficult words. I will explain you the pronunciation of new words. And you people have to write down all the meanings of difficult words in your English classwork notebook, as you always do. And it is compulsory to write down all the meanings in your classwork notebook and do your every classwork and every homework in your notebooks properly and in your books and workbooks from wherever it is given, because it will be checked regularly and you will have to follow the given schedule in a true spirit to avoid any kind of botheration. Okay, now in this lecture we are going to have the understanding of this poem, and will read this poem, and I will give you the complete detail and I will explain you what is described in this lesson. So please open your English students book, page number 84, and on page number 84 the poem begins. Just make sure that you have your English students book, your English classwork notebook and your complete stationery with you so that you can write everything on your notebook. Open your page number 84 from students book, write down date and day and classwork on the top of this page. Prepare your English classwork notebook by writing date and day on the top of the page. Write down topic on the first line of the page, and the topic is poem. Subtopic is The Fringe of the Sea. Okay, first of all the question arises that what does poem mean? Poetry is a form of writing that uses not only words but also form, patterns of sounds, imagery and figurative speech to convey the message. Dear students, poem is a type of content, a type of written content which has sometimes rhymes with it, which has short lines, and which is very beautifully described in short words. Sometimes it includes some rhymes and sometimes it doesn't include some rhymes. Sometimes it has a pattern of the sounds, and most often poems have imagery writing in there, and sometimes they have figurative language. Figurative language means the similes, metaphors, personification, alliteration, etc. You know everything about similes and metaphors. I hope you will learn about personification in your next poem. In this poem we are going to have the understanding of imagery, because this poem is in this poem includes imagery in it. The poem is about a person who used to live in the seashore and now he doesn't live there but miss his childhood when he used to live there. So the poem The Fringe of the Sea is about a Caribbean man. Caribbean means a man who lived around the Caribbean Sea, on an island of the Caribbean Sea. He later in his life moved to London. He expresses his thoughts and feelings about his love for his homeland, Jamaica. Dear students, people sometimes when move forward in their lives, some past memories, some places, some fragrances, some sceneries get stuck in their minds, and they wander in those memories more often. This poem is an imagery of the same thing, where poet says that he wants to sleep and awake at the place where he used to live in his childhood, where near the sea, on a seashore or on an island, he looked the fish jumping in the sea waves. He looked the fish playing in the sea waves. He moved his feet in the water. He when he awakened in the morning, he saw the sunrise in the seashore. It was a very beautiful scene and stuck in his mind, and stuck in his memories. He missed the scene and wants to go back at that place. Dear students, he had been living at an island and now wants to go back there to enjoy the things he used to enjoy in his childhood. So I hope you will very enjoy reading this poem. So let's move towards the reading. Open the page that you have prepared for your today's classwork, and page number 84 from your student's book. On the page of today's classwork, draw a line in the middle of the page and divide it into two sections. First section is for words and second is for meanings. I will give you the meanings of new and difficult words from this poem. You will write down those meanings in your notebook and later on you will learn them. Okay, now let's begin with the reading. The fringe of the sea. Dear students, fringe means outer edge, the seashore. We do not like to awaken far from the fringe of the sea, we who live upon small islands. Dear students, here of three lines, it is a stanza in which he says that we people who live at islands, we don't want to awake far from the island, or we who live on an island and are habitual to look at the sea every morning and every dawn and every evening, we don't want to awake anywhere far from the island. Okay, come to the next stanza. We like to rise up early, quick in the agile mornings. Dear students, here agile means active, quick, and walk out only little distances to look down at the water. Okay, dear students, here he says that we used to get up early in the morning and just moved some steps and looked the water. Next stanza. To know it is swaying near to us with songs and tides and endless boatways and undulate patterns of moods. Okay, dear students, now he says that when they used to get up early in the morning, they did not have to walk far to see the boats, to see the tides of sea waves, to see the moods of waves. And here, dear students, here undulate means wavy. The mood of the patterns of the sea waves is of course wavy, not smooth, so he says he uses the word undulate. Now come to the next stanza. We want to be able to saunter beside it. Here saunter means to wander, to walk slowly. We want to be able to saunter beside it, slow paced in burning sunlight, bare armed, barefoot, bareheaded. Next stanza. And to stoop down by the shallow. Dear students, stoop means to bend, to move down, shifting the random water between assaying fingers like farmers do with soil. Okay, dear students, here a very beautiful feeling is described, that just like a farmer picks some soil and moves it through his fingers, the poet says that we when we used to go to the sea, pick some water in our hand and moved it through our fingers. It was very beautiful feeling for him to touch the water and to move it from his fingers. He missed the scene, he missed this that feeling, and describes in his poem. Dear students, here random and a saying. These words are bold here because in the glossary of this unit, the meanings of these words is given here. Okay, now come to the next page where the next stanza is written. And to think the turquoise mackerels. Dear students, turquoise is a color, a bluish color, a light blue color, and mackerel is a type of fish. Turning with consummate grace. Here, consummate means very beautifully, or you can say consummate means very perfectly, or with very, you can say, perfect in a perfect manner. Uh, Consummate grace, sleek and decorous, and elegant in high blue chambers. Dear students, this stanza is about the movement of a specific type of fish in the water. He saw, when he saw the fish moving in water, um, coming out of the water and then jumping into it, he saw it and felt that it is of some bluish color, and it is playing some tricks. It is playing there in a very beautiful manner. Here decorous means very beautifully, and sleek means very smoothly. He missed the scene when he saw fish moving in water. Next stanza. We want to be able to walk out into it, to work in it, dive and swim and play in it, to row and sail and pilot over its endless highways, and to hear its call and murmurs whenever we may be. Okay, dear students, here in this stanza, we can find that he went into the sea to work. What kind of work can be done in the sea? Of course, he went to catch fish. He is saying that he wants to go there to dive and swim and play in it. He wants to sit in a boat and move in the sea in his boat and catch the fish and hear the sounds, calls and murmurs. Here, calls and murmur means the sound of waves, the sounds of sea waves, the sounds of water moving. Of course, there is no any person who is being discussed in this lecture, but the waves of water. So, of course, here calls and murmurs are of water sounds. Next stanza. All who have lived upon small islands want to sleep and awaken close to fringe of the sea. Okay, dear students, in the last stanza, he wants to close his overall idea. He is saying that whoever uh, have been living at any island, any small island, he or she wants to sleep and awaken close to the sea, and he missed the scene throughout his life. I hope you enjoyed much the poem. Actually, I enjoyed very much reading this poem and understanding it. I hope you also enjoyed it. Uh, so, this was the end of today's lecture. Now, I will give you the homework. Dear students, you will have to read out the poem every word. I gave you the meanings of difficult words. I hope you all have written. You will learn those meanings and words and make sure that you are learning the correct spellings of those words and their meanings. This is the homework assigned to you. Make sure that have you would have done your homework by the next lesson. And this is the end of today's lecture. Good luck. Allah Hafiz.